Yeah, I wanted to comment that long before I went to medical school, do you remember the movie Lorenzo's Oil?
No.
It's a movie about a boy who had a neurologic disease, a demyelinating disease, I believe. And his father went to the library, and, many scenes in the movie were him researching these medical papers that were, buried and not well known, and papers from other fields of study outside of medicine. And he created his own oil for his son, and he would mix this oil together. There were different length branch chain fatty acids that he mixed in a special recipe, and they would use that as the salad dressing for their son, and that it improved his lifestyle and improved his lifespan.
That's amazing.
Improved his symptoms. Yeah. And, that movie's been around for a long, long time. And it makes me realize that there's so much that's fundamental about the way that we eat that a lot of people just are not educated about. They were never taught about. Maybe they spend 4 hours on it in medical school, if that. So it really takes a physician who's got an outside interest in holistic approaches or nutrition to study above and beyond what you're normally faced to be able to really interact and help people. So it's nice and refreshing for me to talk to someone like you who's been able to overcome a disease like Crohn's and been very inspirational to other people going through the same process.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Well, is there anything else, maybe a top 5 list of some sorts, any advice that you would give to triathletes who may be battling medical conditions? Maybe not specifically Crohn's, but a lot of people turn to triathlon because they want to get healthier, they want to get better. What would be your top 5 pieces of advice to them while they're going through this process of change?
Well, one thing would be good fats.
Mm-hmm.
High levels of good fats. I think it makes you healthier. It makes you smarter. That's a big thing. Another thing is just to be active in general. And I'm sure that's falling on deaf ears with your audience, but people have standing desks. People do hardcore workouts. Just moving all the time is really, really helpful. I have 3 kids. I'm doing like 50 weighted squats every day, basically.
Sure.
With 1 or 2 kids in my arms. So basically moving as much as possible. Mm-hmm. The last 3 are about stress. And that to me is the biggest component. So I created Less Doing as a system of productivity to help people stress less. And stress is a huge inflammatory component. It's a big thing. It's hard to tackle.
Yeah.
So one thing is there is a protocol called heart rate variability. And some of you hard charging athletes are probably familiar with it, but it's essentially how your nervous system is connected with your breathing and your mental state. And it's a real thing. It's been around for 50 years basically, and NASA was using it. You can train heart rate variability so you become more resilient. So things that might be causing you bad stress, distress, you would react differently to. And there's a great app that lets you try this out called Stress Doctor for the iPhone and I think Android. It's like $4, and you put your finger over the lens and then you breathe in time and you sort of see an immediate feedback loop, and it's amazing. And it makes you more resilient on a bigger level. The 4th thing is to have an external brain, which is what I call it. And that is a place, and my recommendation is to use something like Evernote. You could use a notebook if you want, but I really like Evernote. Any idea that's in your head, any thought that you think might be interesting, get it out of your head. The human brain is great at coming up with ideas. It's terrible at holding on to them, and sometimes even worse at executing on them. So get them out of your head, get your ideas into a single file line so that you can have some flow. And then the last thing is relationships. Basically, removing toxic people from your life as much as possible. I know that might sound a little bit harsh or black and white, but people affect the way you feel. And this guy, Chris Dancy, who is the most basically quantified person ever, and he's a really, really great guy. That was sort of his number 1 tip is if you ever feel stressed or weird, write down who you've been with in the last 3 hours.
Interesting.
Try to think about how that affected you.
Yeah.
So those are my 5 tips.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you brought up the stress part last, because as I was reading through your book, Less Doing, that was probably the one thing that stood out to me most, is that during your transition to becoming an Ironman triathlete, you had changed your diet. You had undergone the training, and what was left was stress. And so you started to incorporate these stress reduction techniques. And a couple of those I'm already using. I've been using Stress Doctor for about a year. And whenever I feel stressed, now that I've used it a lot, I sort of know what to do. But initially it was very instructive to put my finger over that little the light on my iPhone and just watch my heart rate variability. And if I'm really stressed and not relaxed, it's a random line, and once you're able to regulate and control your breathing, you see this nice wavelength forming. That's your heart rate settling down and your parasympathetic nervous system kicking in. And that's what you need to recover from any kind of stress. And Evernote, I use that to keep lots of notes. I use it for all my show notes. I use it for training notes and workout ideas. And the other suggestions that you have, I'll be implementing them soon.
Great. Well, I hope I can help.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for joining me. It was a really enjoyable conversation, and I hope to talk to you soon, Ari.
Thanks.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, please go to iTunes.com and review Triathlon Research Radio so that you can help us share this great information with more triathletes and grow the sport.